Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition. And today I figured I'd bring you a quick video on Fantasy Flight Games, A Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. So this is just a quick game. It's designed to be a quick game. There is some strategy, small strategy, but we'll get into all that. So this game, the idea is that you want to become the next Hand of the King. And to do so, you have to get the favor or the backing of the different houses. Now, how you go about doing that is there's a tournament going on at King's Landing. This board that you set up is considered King's Landing. There's 36 cards here, 35 of different players, and then you have one of Varys, right? And so you have King's Landing set up. And how it works is you take turns between players. One player goes and the next player goes. And what happens is you just say cardinal direction and what house you want. For example, you can say, well, I'm trying to think which way I'm facing. Left would be west. It's easier for me to go up, down, left, right. But you can go left, Lannister, and Varys would move to the furthest Lannister to the left, and you would pick up all those Lannisters involved. Now, I did a whole video on how to play, so if you want to know all the in-depth stuff, you can go ahead and check that out. That's basically how you play. You call a cardinal direction, and you say what house you want, and then you collect up things. And then there's some extra things that go on. Now, for the review of the game, theme of the game, I like the theme. I've read the Song of Fire and Ice saga, at least as far as George R.R. Martin has put it out there. I have watched the TV show all the way through the HBO show. Like most people who've done both, I like the books more. There's more going on. But thematically, I feel like this works in here, right? You're at King's Landing. You are trying to get influence to work your way in to become the Hand of the King. And you use Varys, right? Or Varys, however you want to say it. I've always said Varys. You use him to move around the board and basically influence the other houses to get the houses to back you, right? And the other thing is you get banners. Whoever has the most house cards gets these little banners representing the different houses. And if you get more, then the banner goes to you. So there's this banner back and forth. Feels very Game of Thrones. You're fighting for, not really fighting in the sense of physically fighting, but you're fighting for dominance or a collection of people to back you. That, I think, theme-wise feels very Game of Thrones. And the art, I like the art. Some people that have seen the game, they weren't as big of a fan of the art. I guess they wanted the picture of the actual actors. I like the art. It is very cartoony, but it has its own feel to it, right? But so that's the theme. I know I'm throwing the art in there. I think the art's great. I think the layout's great. It's easy to read. The amount of players, it plays 2 to 4 players. There's no 1-player variant. You can't play more than that. Though it's a simple game to play, it's a small player count. But I feel like these, there's a handful of them. I have 3 of them. I have Hey, That's My Fish, Star Wars, I think it's Empire vs. the Rebellion, Age of War, which is one that everyone really likes, and then now this one, Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. I think they're designed to be compact, small, and easy to play. I think the Star Wars one is the most complicated out of them. It's still, overall, it's not that complicated. Once you understand how the mechanics work, which sounds weird, but they're simple mechanics. Just trying to understand them. Once you get that down, it's good. But this is designed for 2 to 4 players. I haven't played it more than 2 players. I've played it 2 players a few times now. And I think it's great. I think for the price and everything, it's great. So let's go ahead and lead into the price on it. There's a newer version which doesn't come in this little square box. It might be a little thinner, but it's a little bit taller. And I don't know why, because everything fits in here. But it's a little bit taller of a box. It's not this little square box. And it's $12.99, I think. Originally, it used to be $14.99, so it's $12.99. It's a little cheaper, which is weird because it's in the bigger box. And right now, if you're watching the video within probably a week or so of me filming it, which is today, the day that the video is going up, Friday, what's today, the 25th of November. First time I said date on the video. But if you check out Amazon, I just checked it right now before I started the video, it's $6.99. So for $7, it's definitely a steal of a game. I got it slightly under that just because I looked around a little more because I wanted the original version because I'm weird like that, and it matches up with my other small square box ones. So even at $13.99 price-wise, I think this is a fun game. It's you sit down and play. It's an easy game to learn, right? You do the north, south, east, west, east-west thing. But there is a little bit of strategy involved because you have to think, if I move one way, how many cards can the other player get if they move another? You kind of got to maybe think one move ahead, maybe not 20 moves ahead because you don't know what your opponent is going to get, but at least one move ahead. When you go to make your move, you have to try to calculate the other moves. So there's some fun in there. And there's these extra cards over here. What are they? I'm going to call them helpers right now. I can't remember the name that they use. But there's that to kind of spice it up a little bit, change kind of the board too. But for $13, $12.99, I would say it's a solid buy. Now BGG ranks this at a 6 point something out of 7, usually 7 and higher considered good games. I think it deserves a little bit higher. In my opinion, I would go a little bit higher on it. I need to jump on it and rate it under my account. But I think for what you're paying, it's a good game and it's a good strategy kind of setup. Now, the other thing that I would bring up is the replayability. These cards, you put them out, you shuffle them, you put them out. These allies, that's what they are. The allies, comes with 14 allies, and you only put out 6. So there's a nice mix of allies. There is an extra little expansion kind of variant that you can use, and it's the three-eyed crow. And in a nutshell, all it lets you do is you can quietly talk in another room away from someone else for a minute, unheard by the other players. Now, this could be players that are on your team if you do that variant. There's a couple variants, everyone against each other in teams, or you can talk to someone on the other team, right? If you're playing a variant where you're all against each other, you can just talk to someone else. It does definitely feel very Game of Thrones. You kind of whisper, right, and come back and try to dominate King's Landing. Become the king, the hand of the king, because they're supposed to really kind of rule what's going on. All right, so there's definitely replayability, and you put these cards out in different configurations every time, right? So there is variability in this game. So with variability comes replayability, right? Definitely replayability. And there are most of the characters, they're missing some, and I'm not a hardcore Song of Fire and Ice nerd. But like I said, I have read the novels and I've watched the show. There are a couple players I wish were in here that I don't see in here. But they do have, I wish... Littlefinger, right? I always got to look at his regular name. So Peter Baelish, Littlefinger. I really wish he was a card like Varys, and there was a way to move him around so it's him and Varys kind of fighting it out. But I didn't design this game, right? And I haven't designed a game yet. It'd be nice if I could design a game. But most of the players are here. Off the top of my head, it's Lady Stoneheart. But they have her in here. Where is it? That's Lyanna Stark. I'm looking. Oh, they don't have her in here. The Stark's mom, they don't have. So there's a couple people it'd be nice to have in here, but I'm sure it has to do with card count. But there's a lot of people. There are 36 different players here, plus another 14 players. So if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you kind of get all that in. Now, would I play this again? Definitely. I played this the first time at a friend's house. I liked it. I looked it up, and it seemed to be on sale. The newer version, the taller box, was on sale. I was going to buy it, and I'd made the comment about I'd like to have the box that's the size of the other Fantasy Flight small games that I have. And they were like, oh, check eBay. And I ended up doing that, and I picked up a sealed copy for even cheaper than the newer version on sale. So I think I got this for $5 or something like that, shipped to me and everything. So I definitely would play this game again. Resvon really likes this game, and we're going to get her back in videos. There's just some scheduling things going on and stuff that it's kind of hard to get her into the videos right now. Definitely, she's around, don't worry guys, and she is going to come back. But she really likes this game too. She beat me when we played it, and I was like, argh. At the last minute beat me too. That's where some of these cards kind of help out. But I would definitely play it again. I would ask to play it again. And to sum it all up, I think the theme is great. I love the art, and for the price, I think it's an easy buy. The rating on BGG, like I said, is not 7 or higher, but it's fun, especially if you're a Game of Thrones fan or the Song of Fire and Ice. If you're a fan of either of those, well, I mean they're the same thing, but the books or the shows or both. You're going to like this game. I would argue that you're really going to like this game. And it's light and it's easy to move around. When Resva and I meet up for her embassy appointment, I'm sure this is probably one of the games I'm going to bring because it'll pack into a bag pretty easy. It's not the smallest, but compared to a lot of games, it's pretty small. So that's it. Think the game's fun. Love the theme. Would love to play it again, and would definitely ask to play it again. So that's my review of Fantasy Flight Games, Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. See you later, everybody. Bye.